But there's a lot of things that even from the 90s don't hold. And from in the early 2000s that might have made a noise when it came out, but you go back and watch it now, you're just like Borat, which I still find, I couldn't believe Borat was made. I went back and watched it a little bit. It doesn't, I mean, I know all the jokes coming, so it doesn't hold as much as it did when it first came out. You know, when it did in that kind of comedy, but it's just very interesting what makes things hold and what doesn't make, you know, and you're saying it's more story and character.
It's character. It's the great combination of character, premise, and theme. Mm-hmm. So that even something as silly as Airplane again has all those three things. Whereas, Deuce Bigalow, American Gigolo does not. Right. For me, when people ask me what's my favorite comedy, I have many favorites. It's like asking what's your favorite kid. But for me, one of my favorite comedies of all time is Groundhog Day, because I think it's an amazing combination of comedy, just pure laughs, great performance by Andy McDowell and Bill Murray, but it's also about something. It's about what do you do with, if you had a million lifetimes, what would you do with it? How would you spend it?
Right.
How would you spend your day? How should you be a mensch in the world? And mensch is a Yiddish word that means mensch. That means a good man. It means a person.
Yes.
And so to me, it hits on all those cylinders. Right. And so I look for a film. For me, comedies have to tell something true about being human. Has to tell something true about what humans, struggle with and deal with in their lives. Has to be based on some incredible impossibility or implausibility. So that it doesn't have to be a fantasy like Groundhog Day. It can be something as simple as that movie with James Gandolfini and Julie Louis-Dreyfus, Enough Said.
Right.
Which is just this really, simple, quiet story about a masseuse, is kind of struggling. She meets a guy, maybe he's going to be her new boyfriend. At the same time, she meets a client who becomes a best friend. And the client is the ex-wife of the new boyfriend who hates James Gandolfini and keeps on saying terrible things about him, which starts to affect her relationship. Now, is that impossible? No. But it's improbable.
Yeah.
So you take an improbable or impossible situation and then you let it develop. That's the only time that you can lie in a narrative. And then you let it develop honestly and organically. So a movie like Big, it has one lie in it. A kid makes a wish on a fortune-telling machine. He wakes up, he's the 30-year-old man. Could that ever happen? No. But if it did happen, what would happen then? And every step of that movie develops organically and honestly out of that premise. Now, some people might say, yeah, but how does he get a job at a computer, at a toy company? And the answer to that is because that's the theme. The theme of Big is what's the connection between adulthood and childhood? So, of course, you want him to meet some guy who works in that field, in that area. What would be the point of him meeting a guy who owns a gas station? So he ends up working at a gas station. You could do it, but it has nothing to do with the theme of the movie. So that, to me, are those three elements that make a great comedy. Character, premise, and theme.